Thanks so much for being with us on the Money. I'm Brad Johansson with Allied Wealth's Ryan Wheelis. Always great to be with you, my friend.
Always a pleasure, buddy.
Because we try to simplify this. We're here to educate. Let's work on this thing called Social Security. And this thing called Social Security, I want to maximize it, right? If I get it, I've saved into it, I'm thinking I want to maximize it. Is my thinking wrong if I use that term?
Well, I think maximize goes from the school of thought that I've paid into the system all these years, and I want to wring every single nickel out of Social Security that's already rightfully mine.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense, right?
It does. But the reality is, it's not about that. And people say, well, wait a minute, Ryan, I paid into it. I want what's rightfully mine.
Yeah.
And so we move away from the term maximizing Social Security, all right? And folks, you'll see all these seminar invitations out there in your mailbox to come to my free dinner and I'll teach you how to maximize your Social Security. The reality is there's no more maximization of Social Security. They closed all the loopholes. So you really can't do that stuff anymore. So let me save you a trip to a free dinner, by the way, all right? Now, the question is, though, can you optimize Social Security? And the answer is yes, but what we have to look at is this. If we're going to optimize our Social Security, what does that mean? All right?
I'd like to know.
A couple of things.
Okay.
One, if I am going to retire at 60, all right, and I'm planning on taking my Social Security at age 70, for instance, all right?
Okay.
What value does that have, or what does that create value-wise in the future for my actual dollars that I have in my retirement accounts and my savings?
So I'm done working, and I'm waiting a decade to turn this on.
Okay, right? What that means is during that 10-year period, your portfolio has to produce 100% of your retirement income. And when you get to 70, you reduce the distribution out of your portfolio equal to the amount of your Social Security. So you let the portfolio breathe some. Okay. So out there in the future now, if you go that route, how much money is in the portfolio? Versus if we do it this way. Instead of taking it at 70, we take it at 62. Well, now our portfolio from 62 or on doesn't have to produce all of our retirement income because some of it's coming from Social Security. So what is the residual value of my portfolio in the future if I do it at 62 versus 70? That's a big deal because a lot of times what we will see is your portfolio value in the future is larger if you take Social Security early. All right? Now, why is that important?
I mean, it becomes significant, so you got to tell me why it's important.
Well, the reason why it's important is we have a great chance of needing to cover the cost of long-term care in the future. And so if I took Social Security early and my portfolio has to produce less income over time, all right, I'm likely going to have a higher value in my portfolio in the future that I can use to finance the cost of long-term care versus if I delayed Social Security.
See, just by you saying that makes me think of so many people who have come in and have not thought, I potentially may get sick. I potentially may become disabled. As I'm growing older, I didn't really figure that into my plan. What you're saying now is this all has to be part of that. And I know you're saying this, all right, if this is optimization, but everybody ends up being different in this, aren't they?
Everybody is uniquely different. And optimization, Brad, is not just about the Social Security component of retirement. It's about how, when you claim Social Security, how does it impact the other areas of retirement? And what is the long-term prognosis of the decision of taking it at 70 or 62, all right? Here's another example. We talk about taxes. We know taxes are going up in the future. Most of us have the largest amount of money we have to fund our retirement saved in tax-infested retirement accounts.
Yeah.
All right? Well, what if I want to do a Roth IRA conversion strategy starting at age 60? Well, if I do that, do I want to take Social Security at 62 or do I want to wait until age 70? Oftentimes, it makes sense if I want to do a Roth conversion strategy starting at 60 to delay my Social Security benefits, all right, until age 70 because I don't have that additional income coming in from Social Security, driving up my tax bill, I'm doing on my Roth IRA conversions.
Okay, so if you're bringing up Roth, we're talking about conversions now, and you say that let's do that early. Why is it so significant to be looking at tax conversions at this point, in addition to what we're doing with Social Security right now? And I say that because I know things are going to change at the end of 2025.
Well, taxes are going to go up. And what a lot of people don't realize is if you move from the 12% tax rate, as it is today, to the 22% tax rate, the 85% of your Social Security benefits that are taxable are all taxed at your highest marginal tax rate at 22%. So that's a really big thing that people overlook.
I mean, this is a problem.
It's a massive problem. It's a massive problem. And so, again, it's not about the break-even point. We see this a lot, right? My engineer clients, I got to,
I
wait
just want to break even. Yeah.
Think about this. The break-even point does not factor in that your spouse, who gets the larger Social Security check when you die, could live 10 or 15 years, even 20 years longer than you in some cases. So make sure you factor that into your break-even analysis. And what you'll find is in most cases today, the person that has the smallest amount of Social Security, they should actually take their benefit early at 62, and the person with the largest check should wait until 70. But that doesn't factor in any tax planning, all right? It doesn't factor any longevity planning. It doesn't factor into, hey, what's the value of my residual accounts in my IRA, my checking account, my savings account? How much money does that create out there in the future for my portfolio not having to produce my income for all these years?
You're talking about all of this stuff. I don't need to hear all of this stuff. I got a friend that I work with, same age as I am. We pretty much make the same thing. He told me this is what he's going to do. This is what we're doing. We'll walk down to the Social Security office. We'll get a little advice from the Social Security office, tell them which box to check. What's wrong with my thinking?
What's wrong with your thinking? And there's absolutely no planning around how that impacts the other areas of your overall comprehensive retirement plan. And Brad, we can have a whole nother conversation about Social Security being there for you in the future.
The insecurity of Social Security, because at this point, I mean, it keeps moving back. We were told it's probably going to be insolvent by 2033. That's moved back to 32. I've even heard some numbers of saying 31. And yet there are a lot of voters out there who want their Social Security. Is Social Security going to be insolvent by that time?
I don't believe Social Security will be insolvent, but I do seriously consider that Social Security could take a 20% haircut in the future. And people need to be prepared for that, by the way.
And that's because they'll change the rules whenever they want. Don't you want to do something when you know the rules the way they are right now? And have you figured in Social Security? Not the maximization, the optimization. Let's change the thinking. Let's help you plan and work that into your portfolio right now. 844-944-7555. Stop waiting. Let's plan for a better future.